From the bright lights of Hollywood,
supermodel, sex, drugs, 80s. Who should we call? Of course we'll call McInerney.
to the big city of New York,
Downtown, there was a lot of creative energy. You could still hear the Ramones, see Jim Carroll and Andy Warhol and Lou Reed.
if the road to excess leads to the Palace of Wisdoms,
Oh!
it did work. In one shot, Jay.
I'm glad that I still have my eyesight.
Then my guest is the wisest of them all.
I think it was Hemingway who said the best thing that can happen to a novelist is the worst thing that can happen to you so long as it doesn't kill you.
Today, my good friend Jay McInerney puts it all on the table. Hi Jay, you made
Eric.
it. Good to
How are
see
you,
you. How's everything?
Good. Great.
Don't tell me what it is. I need.
Okay. Of course.
Yes,
First of all,
some red wine.
bottle of
To drink?
Chateauneuf de Pape. I
drink or
know
to
you
cook?
like Bordeaux, but for cooking, really, I think a Côtes du Rhone.
Well, Jay McInerney, first of all, is a friend. He's a bon vivant, but mostly for the world, he's one of the greatest writers of his generation. Can I guess?
Okay, yeah.
It's the rooster that you have in a house in Bridgehampton.
Ah!
Did you
I would
bring
have
the
brought you
rooster?
a rooster, but no, in this
No.
case,
Lamb shanks.
lamb shanks.
You gonna put anchovies with
Yeah,
it?
I think everything is better with anchovies, but honestly, you're not.
I have never
you're
tried
not
that.
going to taste this.
I never knew that lamb would be enhanced in terms of flavors with a couple of anchovies in the sauce. I have something for you here.
Gimonet.
You-
Very nice.
You know that champagne, right?
Yes.
The champagne was a surprise for him a little bit. I know he liked those kind of champagne.
Oh!
It did work. What I was trying to do with the champagne is what we call in French sabre. The military actually used to do that with a real saber. In one shot, Jay.
I'm glad that I still have my eyesight.
Look, we have a pot here. We're gonna try like that.
Well, it was a
We're
noble
starting
experiment.
very powerful, Jay, the show.
It really is the best way to open a bottle of champagne.
Cheers. Welcome.
I like to start every venture with champagne if possible.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
I don't always use a saber to open it, but speaking of occasions, that certainly makes it more dramatic and
Yep.
festive and sometimes scary. I know you're more of a red wine guy.
I won't saber the red, that's for sure.
All right. Well, speaking of cooking, this
Yeah.
this dish takes a little while. It's not that hard, but it's
Yes,
it's a
it's
couple
braised.
it's a couple of hours. Braised lamb shanks is a dish that I've been cooking for a really long time. It's a great winter dish, and it's also a great red wine dish. I love having Eric Ripert as my sous chef.
Yeah, I'm your commis. Commis is not even the sous chef.
Yeah, we've done it before though.
Yeah, we
Except
are.
usually I'm the sous chef.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
take care of the carrots.
I'm gonna salt and pepper these lamb shanks.
So Jay, where are you born and where did you grow?
I was born in Hartford, Connecticut, but I can't tell you anything about it because I moved when I was 6 months old. We lived in Europe, we lived in Geneva, London,
In Switzerland?
Vancouver, Canada, Chappaqua, New York. Well, I really didn't stop moving until I went to college.
Are you happy with that?
In Williamstown.
That's the right size or?
Perfect.
It's perfect?
That's
Okay,
it.
good.
Yeah.
So was it a problem to make friends in school and then you don't see your friends again?
It's not a great way to grow up. You have to sort of prove yourself over and over again each time. And I think I sort of did that partly by developing a sort of class clown mentality and trying to entertain people. And I spent about half my school years in detention or expulsion or something like that, you know, and I guess that tendency has followed me later in life. When I was in England, they had a system of red stars for academic achievement and black stars for disciplinary problems. And in my year, I had the most red stars and the most black stars. When I got to college,
Yeah.
I settled down a lot. I loved college. I went to Williams College in Massachusetts, and I suddenly felt
A liberation?
I felt at home for the first time. I inherited the Radical Student Organization, which was once called SDS, Students for Democratic Society, and
What was that?
and I took it over. The revolutionary spirit of the 60s was gone, but people still sort of felt a little guilty about going back to being Republicans. So they gave me a very big budget to bring radical speakers to campus, and that was kind of fun.
I read somewhere that you
Angela
brought Angela Davis,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That was a scandal.
It was a
I guess.
Yeah. By this time, everybody just wanted to get a job on Wall Street or go to law school.
And she was an ex-Black Panther
She
or
was
something
an
like that?
ex-Black Panther and a Marxist. People I've admired have always been somewhat iconoclastic and rebellious, and people who have refused to read the script as written.
When you brought Angela to the campus, was it a scandal with the teachers and the students and the newspapers? Or?
The more conservative students thought that this was a terrible thing.
What did you do that?
And
to be a troublemaker, or because you had a strong opinion?
Partly because I found a new way to cause trouble, but also because I did have strong opinions. The Vietnam War radicalized me to some extent, I think.
You were anti-war.
I was very, very opposed to the war. After I graduated, I actually went to Japan for 2 years. A friend of mine was living in Japan. He told me that you could teach English and make a lot of money and have a lot of free time. And I thought this would be a good way to have time to write. I wrote a novel, terrible novel. I taught English. I had many adventures. And then I realized it was time to come home. And New York seemed like the logical place to go.
I know Jay for many years, and I never knew that he traveled to Japan. He lived in England, and then lived in New York in the 80s when New York was totally insane, crazy, with many artists, writers.
After arriving in New York, I got a job with the New Yorker magazine as a fact checker.
Is it true you got fired from that job?
Yes.
How can you get fired as a fact checker? It's easy, you take the phone, you call, you say, is it right, is it wrong, and you're done.
I'm just not very good with facts, you know. I like to quote the Talking Heads, facts all come with points of view, facts don't do what I want them to. They look pretty good.
They look good.
Okay, that one's good. I don't think we'll go home hungry.
So you want the vegetables in a pot?
Yeah, and then good enough, yeah, we'll get a little oil.
You come back from Japan, you end up in New York, because it's the most exciting city.
At first it was a difficult love affair, because after I got fired from the New Yorker, it was very difficult to support myself. I was writing book reviews, and I also, when I was in Japan, I met a model whom I brought back to New York and married. And she subsequently went off to the fashion shows in Italy and never came back. And so it was bad. And right about the same,
I'm sorry to laugh about that, but
and right about the same time, my mother died.
Oh,
so
that's
I was at a very low ebb. And I think it was Hemingway said the best thing that can happen to a novelist is the worst thing that can happen to you so long as it doesn't kill you. At that point, I happened to meet a writer who I admired very much, Raymond Carver, and we sat down and talked for several hours and really got to know each other. And he, in the course of the day, said, you know, if you really want to be a writer, living here in New York is not the way to do it.
Oh, it's not the way to do it?
No.
Hello, I'm Eric Ripert, host of On the Table, only on the Reserve channel. If you like my show, hit the subscribe button below. And hit the thumbs up if you like my show.